Seem to be forgetting that lately. And we'll come to seated. So cross legs if you can. If cross legs isn't good still, always try sitting up, it can help, or kneel if that works better for you. Any seated position, really just want to be able to sit up with the spine nice and tall. So whatever that needs to be. We're going to be working a little bit around the hips this morning, which actually we often do, don't we? And the more that we work on our hip flexibility, hopefully cross legs gets a little bit easier, doesn't it? But adjust if you need to. Okay, so we want to just be able to sit up nice and tall. Begin to, here she is, begin to let go of the weight of your pelvis. Begin to let go of the weight of your legs. And then just being nice and tall through your spine. Morning, Lydia, we're seated, cross legs. Nice and tall through your spine. And then just start to feel the shoulders relax down away from your ears. And start to feel the whole of your body as you sit here. So just noticing if there's anywhere that you are still tensing and gripping, you can begin to soften a bit more. And just notice how your head just stays up without any effort. So make sure that you're not tensing around the base of the neck. Soften. Begin to relax the facial muscles. Smooth your forehead. Little muscles around your eyes and around your mouth begin to soften. Just unhinging the jaw and relaxing the throat. And then just beginning to follow the breath in and out through the nose. And just straight away beginning to lengthen and deepen. Just beginning to feel the expansion with the inhale. And use the exhales just to release any amount more tension. And just scanning the body. And you can do that as many times as you need to. Just to make sure that you're not still holding anywhere. So, back of the tongue, relax. Shoulders, can they relax a bit more? Your abdomen as well. That's another place that we tend to sort of grip, isn't it, into the abdomen. So just let it go. And find as much space as you can with the inhales and the exhales. With the inhales even. With the exhales, just relax. Okay, from here, we'll just blink the eyes open. We'll just start very gently warming up the neck and the shoulders this morning. So if you just bring the chin to the chest, and then just drawing a diagonal line with the tip of the nose to the tip of the right shoulder, and then coming back to center. And then inhale, tip of the nose to the tip of the left shoulder, and then back to center. So it's really just a sort of semicircle movement, isn't it? But just a very slow, gentle movement with the breath, inhaling to lift, exhaling to back to center, and then going the other side. And just trying to stay as relaxed as you can. You might find that when you bring the ear close to the shoulder, you can relax that shoulder a bit more. Maybe when you do this, you find little tight areas around the base of the neck and you want to stay and linger somewhere. So you can always do that. You can always stay. Just sort of stretch it out, move a little bit if it feels nice. And then if it's appropriate for you and your neck, then you might move on to the full circles. But if you have neck problems or you have any whiplash or anything, then just be a little bit careful with that. You don't need to do the full circle. It is okay to do the full circle, so long as your neck is okay. But you can just move around, explore that. It always surprises me, even when we do quite simple things like this, you find quite tight areas, don't you? So just move into them, be gentle. And then we'll bring the head back to, the chin back to the chest in the center. And then inhale to bring the head back up. On the next exhale, just bring to the right ear to the right shoulder. And you can just stay with that for a moment. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Maybe you start to think about the left shoulder drawing down a little bit. That can feel quite intense if you're very tense around the base of the neck. So stay with exactly that. Just trying to use the breath to relax the ear down to the shoulder a bit more. Or you can always reach the left arm out, can't you? And I know that we're all familiar with this. So you can reach the left arm away if you want to. You can explore the position of the left arm, maybe rotating the palm forward and back. And sometimes just those little adjustments make a massive difference, don't they? Especially if you are tight around the neck, shoulders. So staying gentle, still drawing the left shoulder down. And then if you want more, you can always bring the right hand in. But remember when we do that, to resist the temptation to pull. So no force. Just literally the weight of the hand helps us to increase that stretch. Okay, then we're going to walk the fingertips. If you're using the hand, the fingertips come behind the ear to that ridge at the base of the skull, and then the chin comes to the right hand side of the chest. If you're not using the hand, then just bring the chin to the right hand side of the chest, and that can make a massive difference. It does for me. Keep drawing that left shoulder down. Again, resisting the temptation to use force. Trying to stay as relaxed as you can. Base of the neck, shoulders, the left shoulder blades, any amount drawing down. And then we'll release that, bring the chin to the center of the chest, interlace the fingers and just rest the hands at the back of the head. So again, no force. Shoulder blades are drawing down. Just feel that nice lengthening at the back of the neck. You might not even realize how much tension you store in your shoulders. When we do this, you can feel it, can't you? I can. Okay, release, inhale back to center and then left ear, left shoulder. And you can start with just this, and that might feel really intense for you, and you stay there, don't need to do any more. If you want to reach the right arm out, you can explore it a bit, rotate with the palm back and forward. The angle as well makes a difference, doesn't it? You might even want the fingertips down, actually, that's another variation. Find the place where you feel the stretch that works for you, and then the left hand can come in if it wants to. But don't pull. Tempting as it is to crank it, we never crank it. Okay, so you can still move that right arm around a bit, just explore the stretch, being really gentle. And then if you're using the left hand, fingertips to that little ridge at the base of the skull, and then left chin to the left side of the chest, or just chin to the left side of the chest. Paying attention to what you feel and where you feel it. So nothing force, no force, no horrible sensation. Okay, release, bring the chin to the chest, interlace the fingers, rest the hands at the back of the head, draw the shoulder blades down. No force, just feel that nice gentle lengthening at the base of the neck or back of the neck. And then we'll release the hands and inhale, bring the head up. Okay, on the next inhale, take the arms out, around and up. And then not worrying about what the shoulders are doing, just reach up through the fingertips. Think about lengthening, lifting up. That idea that someone's picking you up by your rib cage and is lifting you up, get taller. Or it's like you're trying to reach something on the ceiling that you just can't quite get, and you're really, really trying to lift. Inhale and then exhale to release. Okay, inhale, take the arms out, around and up again. And then this time we'll turn the palms forward. As we exhale, make fists and then the cactus arms out to the side. Inhale, open the arms out, take them as far back as you can, and then exhale, curve into the upper back, chin to the chest, palms come towards each other. Okay, inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, make fists, cactus arms. Inhale, widen. Exhale, chin to the chest, round into the upper back, and then again, inhale to lift the arms up. Exhale, cactus arms. Inhale, widen, chest forward. Exhale, rounding, chin to the chest, palms come towards each other. Inhale, up. Exhale, cactus arms. Inhale to widen. Exhale, rounding into the upper back as much as you can, chin to the chest, palms towards each other. Last one, inhale to come up. Exhale, cactus arms. Inhale to widen, take the arms back, and then exhale, rounding, chin to the chest. Palms come towards each other, and then inhale to sweep the arms up, and then exhale, release the arms down. Well done. Okay, from here, come straight to all fours. When you get to all fours, stack your joints. Make sure that both hands do the same thing. Spread your fingers wide. Get that good contact with the hands and the mat that we always want, and feel it. Feel the sensation and get back. And exhaling to come back. Last one, inhale forward. And then exhale to come back. Okay, rounding your way back to neutral, tucking the toes, sending the hips up and back into a downward facing dog. The knees can be bent if they need to be. If you need to start to pedal into the legs, you can. Just trying to maintain that nice softness around the base of the neck. And just moving in whatever way feels appropriate this morning. It's being really gentle as we warm up. You might want to do some tiptoes. You might want to sway from side to side. Just whatever feels nice. Okay, from here, inhale to look forward. Step, hop, float, walk, tiptoe. Come forward. Feet at least hip width. And then nice deep bend in the knees. Come into our first forward bend. And then you might just want to take the elbows, make it a ragdoll pose. You can sway a bit in ragdoll. Sometimes it's nice to make that a big movement, isn't it? Maybe the side body needs to be moved into and stretched out. So whatever. And gently nodding the head yes and shaking it no. Any residual tension around the base of the neck, just let it go. Okay, we're going to release the hands down and then just start to bend deeply into the right knee. And see if you can stretch and lengthen into the back of the left leg a little bit more, and then switch. So bending deeply into the left knee, maybe you start to straighten into the right leg a bit more, and then switching again. But just be gentle here, the knees can stay soft. You're just straightening the back of the whichever leg as much as you can as you warm up into the back of the leg. Switching. Remember to protect your low back here. If you have back issues, we want to try to keep the abdomen and the ribs close to the thighs here. So if the knees need to stay bent to do that, then you keep the knees bent. So just keep going with that movement, bending into one knee then the other. It can feel quite intense, that, can't it? So just take it really gently. And then coming back to the central position, we'll take the feet a little bit wider. You're going to curse me for this first thing in the morning, but we're going to come to Malasana squat. Remember to use a block here if you need to. And then just come all the way down to Malasana squat. One of my favourite things to do at the moment, isn't it? Sorry, elbows to the inside of the knees, palms together. So you can always sit on a block here. Support your heels if you need to. Roll the mat up. Use your block. And then as always, if you find these really easy, don't hang out. Find a little bit of engagement here. So even though this feels really hard, it's intense, isn't it? It's really good for the low back and hips. We need to learn to love Malasana squat as well. Some of us do, some of us really don't. So do your best here. If it bothers your knees, then maybe come up, sit up on a block. Okay, so get that action of the heels drawing towards each other. So you start to get that little bit of lift and buoyancy. And then those muscles in the outer hips, you start to grip them in and find a little bit more length in the spine in your Malasana squat. So you can stay with this, with the palms together if you want to. If you want more, you can reach the arms up. Try to keep that action of the heels drawing towards each other. So you're starting to really engage around the hips and starting to really warm up into the hips. Think about chest lifting, fingertips reaching up towards the ceiling. Okay, from here, you may well curse me from this. For this, we're going to inhale and come all the way up from our Malasana squat. Well done. And then release the arms and just heel toe the feet back to about hip width, outside edges of the feet parallel. You might want to shake the legs out a little bit there. Move in whatever way that you want to. Okay, I'm going to do some sun salutations to move us up. I'll start with some classical and we'll move on. Okay, so inhale, take the arms up and gaze up. And then as you exhale, hinge forward. Remember, knees bend if they need to. Relax the head and neck. Inhale for your halfway lift. Chest lengthens forward. As we exhale, bend the knees, put the palms down, just step back with the right leg and then drop the knee and tuck the toes Inhale for your low lunge. And then exhale, let the hips sink forward and down. So sacrum moves forward and the lower ribs soften in. Shoulder blades down the back. Get that little bit of scissoring action going with the legs. And then inhale. As we exhale, twist, bring the right arm forward and the left arm back. Widen across the collarbones. Maybe you can lean back a little bit there with your torso. Helps you to find a little bit more engagement with the core. Okay, inhaling to come back up, bring the arms up, and then exhale down onto the fingertips, step the right foot back to the front of the mat, and then forward bend. Inhaling to come up, bringing the hands to touch, and then exhale. Okay, other side, so inhale, big circle. As we exhale, hinging forward, knees bend as much as they need to. Inhale for your halfway lift. Exhale to bend the knees, step back with the left leg and then dropping the knee and tucking the toes, inhaling for low lunge. And then exhale, hips forward and down. So again, it's like someone's gently pressing you forward from the low back, but the ribs are softening in. Try to just get the scissoring action as well with the legs straight away, shoulder blades down the back. Maybe you gaze up. Inhale, exhale to twist, left arm forward, right arm back. And if you lean a little bit further back there, you might find a little bit more engagement with the core. Keep the scissoring action going with the legs, reach your way through the fingertips. Inhaling to come forward, arms up. And then exhale, hands down, step the left foot back to the front of the mat, and then forward bend. Inhaling to come up, bringing the hands to touch, and then exhale. Okay, some sort of sun aids. Inhale, big circle. As we exhale, hinge forward. Inhaling for a halfway lift. Exhale to step or jump back. Coming down through the knees or chaturanga. Remember, shoulders forward for chaturanga and don't come too low. Inhale for a back bend, up dog or cobra. And then exhaling back. Downward facing dog. We'll take 3 breaths. 1. So maintain that nice softness and space around the base of the neck. 2. Can you spin your outer upper arms back in downward facing dog? And 3. Okay, from here, inhale, take the right leg up and then exhale to step it forward. So we're coming into that runner's lunge position. From our runner's lunge, taking the weight into the right foot. On the next inhale, we're going to step the left foot behind the right and then come into that crisscross forward bend. So again, knees can stay soft if they need to. Squeeze the inner thighs towards each other, relax the head and neck. Okay, we're going to come up in the crisscross leg position, so press into the feet and come up. A little bit wobbly, keep the thighs squeezing towards each other and then bring the arms out, around and up. Okay, interlace the fingers, come into a pistol grip and then inhale to reach up through the index finger, and then as we exhale, a little side bend over to the left. So keep squeezing the inner thighs towards each other. That should help you to be a little bit more stable here. I know it's wobbly. Squeezing the outer hips in as well. Turning the gaze up to the ceiling if that is okay with your neck. Okay, inhaling to come back upright and then exhaling to come back down into a forward bend. Inhaling for a halfway lift, and then this time we're going to take the left leg up as well. Come into either a supported warrior 3 or a standing splits. And then inhale to lift the chest. As we exhale, we'll soften into the right knee, reach back with the left foot, come back to our runner's lunge. And then from there, take the hands down, stepping it back. Straight to downward facing dog or come through a vinyasa. So remember, don't come too low in chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. And then exhale back. Downward facing dog, inhale the left leg up. And then exhale to step it forward. So that runner's lunge position. Excuse me. And then from there, take the weight into the left foot. Right foot steps behind. And then crisscross legs forward, bend over them. Inner thighs squeeze towards each other. Inhaling, pressing into the feet to come up. Keep the arms coming out, around and up. Interlace the fingers once you're there. Come into a pistol grip. Inhale, reach up through the fingertips, index fingers, and then little side bend over to the right. Keep squeezing the inner thighs towards each other. Maybe the gaze turns up there. Think about lifting up out of the left hip and finding as much length as you can. Okay, inhaling to come back upright and then exhaling to come down into your forward bend. Inhaling to lift and lengthen the chest forward and then exhaling to fold. Okay, inhaling to lift and lengthen the chest forward, right leg lifts. And then as we exhale, softening into the left knee, reaching back with the right foot, back to runner's lunge. And then from there, make your way to downward facing dog, however you want to get there. Up to you. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. And then exhale back, Downward facing dog, take 5 breaths. 1, so straight away, come back to that evenness and depth of breath in and out through the nose. 2, ujjayi breath if you can. 3, outer upper arms, can you spin them back? 4, and 5, inhaling to look forward, stepping, hopping, floating, walking forward. Lengthen the chest forward when you get there, and then forward bend. Inhaling to come up, press down through the feet. Keep the arms coming, out, around and up, gaze up, and then exhale, hands down through heart center. Okay, I'm going to do that sort of sunny again. So inhale, arms up. As we exhale, hinge forward. Inhale for your halfway lift. Exhale to step or jump back. Straight to downward facing dog, of course, or come through your vinyasa. Just remember, hug the elbows in. Don't come too low, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. And then exhale back. Downward facing dog. We'll do the left leg first this time. So inhale the left leg up and then exhale, step it forward, runner's lunge. And then from there, taking the weight into the left foot, right foot steps behind the left, and then forward bend, crisscross legs. Inhale, come up, press down through the feet. We'll keep the arms coming out, around and up. Interlace the fingers, index fingers point up, inhale. Exhale that little side bend over to the left. Keep squeezing the inner thighs towards each other. It kind of helps you to stay a little bit more balanced, maybe. It is a bit wobbly, isn't it? Okay, inhaling to come back up, and then exhaling for your forward bend. Inhale to lift the chest at the same time. Right leg lifts. Exhale, bend into the left knee, step back to your runner's lunge. Hands come down. Go straight to downward facing dog, or you can add in another vinyasa here. It's up to you. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhaling back, downward facing dog, and then inhale the right leg up. Exhale to step it forward. That runner's lunge position, and then we step the left foot behind the right and forward bend. Inhale, come up, pushing down through the feet, squeeze the inner thighs towards each other. Arms out, around and up, interlace the fingers, pistol grip. Inhale, exhale, that little side bend over to the left this time. Lift up out of that right hip. Maintain the softness around the base of the neck. Keep squeezing the legs together. Maybe you turn your gaze up there. And then inhaling to come back upright. Exhaling for a forward bend. Inhale to lift and lengthen the chest forward at the same time. Left leg lifts, coming into that standing splits or supported warrior 3. And then soften into the right knee. Left foot comes back. Take the hands down and frame the foot, step back. Straight to downward facing dog, or come through your vinyasa. Up to you. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. And then exhale back. Downward facing dog, take 5 breaths. 1, so straight away, calm your breath. 2, remember you can always take a break instead of downward facing dog as well. 3, can you start to think about pushing the front of the leg to the back of the leg. 4, and 5. Okay, inhaling to look forward, step, hop, float, or walk forward. And then once you're there, forward bend. Inhaling to come up, press down through the feet. Keep the arms coming out, around and up, gaze up. And then exhale and release. Okay, we'll make our way back to downward facing dog. So through a vinyasa or not, inhale, arms up. As you exhale, hinge forward. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale to step or jump back. So straight to downward facing dog or through another vinyasa. Remember, elbows are glued to the rib cage. Inhale for a back bend, up dog or cobra. And then exhale back. Downward facing dog. Okay, inhale the right leg up and then exhale to step it forward. Make sure you're not on a tightrope, because we're making our way up to my favourite pose, crescent lunge. Press into the right foot and come up into your crescent. So remember, the back knee can be really, really soft in crescent. Try and be heavy in the tailbone. Shave the outer right hip back. Sink deeper into that front knee. And straight away, see if you can get a little bit of hamstring engagement on the right leg as well. So it's like you're trying to draw the top of the thigh bone back into the hip socket. The lower ribs are softening in, the shoulder blades are coming back down your back, and you're coming a little bit deeper into your crescent lunge. Try to energize back through that left heel as well, even if the knee is really, really bent, if it needs to be. Okay, come deeper. Remember those muscles that we feel in Vinyasa squat and we squeeze them in. Can you do that here as well? So it's the outer hips, can you squeeze them in? And then from that, find a little bit more length in your torso, sides of the waist, sides of the ribs, fingertips are reaching up to the ceiling. Come a little bit deeper if you can, and a bit deeper. Start to really say hello to our legs. Let them warm up. See if you can keep that hamstring engagement though, back of the right thigh. A little bit of movement is okay as well, but try to stay as relaxed as you can. And if you start to really wobble, just try and relax about it, let the wobbles happen. Okay, from here, on the next inhale, we'll straighten into the front leg, we'll find horse to the left, so turning, pivoting on the feet, maybe coming a little bit narrower, and then bring the hands to the knees and guide the knees out over the toes. So make sure that you're not rolling onto the insteps of your feet here, and if you struggle with that, maybe come a little bit narrower with the feet, and then it's easier to press into the outer edges. Try and stack the shoulders above the hips and keep opening the knees out. Come deeper. Same thing here, we want to squeeze those outer hips in and find more length through the crown of the head. So you can keep the hands onto the thighs if you want to, or you can reach them straight out from the shoulders. Maybe you turn the palms up and then really press the shoulder blades into the upper back as well. And then reach away through the fingertips as you come deeper, but you're still squeezing the outer hips in. Okay, come deeper into horse. I won't hang out as here long here next time. I'm just making sure that we're all really warmed up. Keep squeezing those outer hips in as well. Come deeper. Make sure the knees are tracking out over the toes as well. Okay, from here, inhaling for crescent lunge at the back of the mat. So pivoting onto the feet. Again, you might adjust. You might need to adjust there. So take your time to get there. Crescent lunge on the side, outer left hip draws back. Right knee can be bent. Remember, heavy in the tailbone. Shoulders down, ribs in. Can you still maintain that nice evenness with the breath and still finding that outer hip engagement here as well, so lengthen the spine. Shoulder blades down the back, come deeper. And again, a little bit deeper. And just trying to be fluid with your body, not really tense. And when you start to wobble, it's really difficult to maintain the balance. So it's that balance, isn't it, between effort and stillness, effort and softness even. Can't speak this morning. Okay, inhaling in crescent lunge. As we exhale, we're going to open warrior two to the right. So pivoting out on the right foot and again adjusting the feet, making sure you're lining up heel to arch. Tailbone is heavy, front knee is opening out. A little bit of hamstring engagement in warrior two as well. So it's like the top of the left thigh bone's drawing back into the hip socket. Inner right thigh is lifting. Widen across your collarbones. From here, we'll reverse, so flip the left palm up, inhale, reach forward, find length, and then exhale up and back to reverse. You could take the wrap here if you want to. The right leg could come down the right thigh. Keep drawing that left shoulder away from the ear, reach through the fingertips. Make sure you're not flaring your abdomen forward in your reverse warrior. Try and find the side bend. Okay, from here, we're going to come straight to a half moon. So bring the left hand down, hop the back foot in, adjust the left position of the left hand, and then raise the right leg as much as you can. Maybe the right arm comes up. You can always stay in the wrap there as well. I know we do that sometimes. Remember to engage your lifted leg and to lift up out of the left hip. Turn your chest. The more engagement you can find on the right side of your torso here as well, the lighter maybe you can get in those left fingertips. Okay, from here we'll come back to a warrior two, so softening into the front knee. Maybe you lift the lower arm to challenge your balance and see if you can slow motion. Come back to warrior two, well done. And then inhale in warrior two. As we exhale, we'll bring the hands down. We'll step back. You can go straight to downward facing dog, or you come through your vinyasa. Up to you. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. And then exhale back. Downward facing dog will take 5 breaths. 1. So just observe how your body feels now. 2. Feel free to take a break or take a child's pose if you want to. 3. Remember, front of the leg moves to the back of the leg. 4. And 5. Okay, inhale, take the left leg up. Exhale, step it forward. Set up for your crescent, and then wobble your way up to it. and saying, oh no, we're back on the left leg. Okay, sink deeper. Outer left hip draws back. Keep that back knee soft so that you can be as heavy in the tailbone as possible, and then still energize back through the right heel. Shoulder blades down, ribs in. All of that stuff. Getting that hamstring engagement here too, if you can. And I hope you all kind of get that when I say about that. It's almost like you're trying to draw the top of the thigh bone back into the hip socket. Or you could think about maybe the heel is drawing back. That might be another way to think about it. It's like you're trying to draw those lines in the sand. Here, come deeper if you can. Maintain that nice evenness with the breath and come deeper if you can. Not cursing me yet. Okay, on the next inhale, we'll turn to the right and then find horse. So adjusting the feet, take the hands to the knees, make sure that they're guiding out over the toes. We don't want to collapse onto the insteps. Energize into the outer edges of the feet, squeeze the outer hips in. Build some length in the spine from that action and come deeper and deeper. Maybe the arms come out. Maybe you need to rest them onto your thighs. It's up to you, but maybe you're going to turn the palms up, which I like to do because it helps you to really press the shoulder blades into the upper back as well. Don't let the ribs or abdomen flare forward though when you do that either. Come a little bit deeper. And again, a bit deeper. Still energizing into the outer edges of the feet. Okay, so we'll find crescent lunge, top of the mat, rotating with the feet, adjusting. Wobble, wobble. Again, try and get as much engagement as you can there, shaving the outer right hip back, lifting up out of the pelvis, sides of the waist, sides of the ribs, lengthening, come deeper, crescent lunge, and deeper. Okay, inhale, crescent lunge, exhale, warrior two to the left, so left foot turns out, and again, check your line up, adjust your feet, take your time to get there. Make sure that you're not reaching forward in your warrior two. Get that hamstring engagement here too, that heel is drawing back, the inner left thigh is lifting as well. Both legs are really, really active in warrior two. Press the shoulder blades in to the upper back. Okay, we'll reverse this, flip the right palm up, inhale, reach forward, find length, and then up and back to reverse your warrior. You can go for the wrap if you want to, or left hand comes down, left thigh. Just make sure you're not leaning into it. Okay, is your abdomen flaring forward? So can you make it a side bend? Try and knit the ribs in even here. Right, shoulder draws away from the ear, but you're reaching through the fingertips. Well done. Okay, we'll come straight to our half moon. So right hand comes down, you can stay in the bind, you can hop or drag the back foot in, and then left leg lifts. Turning as much as you can to the left. And remember, the more you engage that lifted leg, in theory, it's easier. Lift up out of that left hip as well. So you don't want to just kind of hang into that right hip and the top of the hamstring. Lift up out of it, find the engagement, turn your chest. Maybe you can engage the left side of your torso and get lighter on the lower fingertips. Okay, from here, with control, we'll find warrior two. So we soften into the front knee. Maybe you lift the lower arm and see if you can slow-mo, come back to warrior two. Well done. Big inhale in warrior two. And then as we exhale, we'll take the hands down, we'll step back. We can go straight to downward facing dog. You can have a rest in child's pose, or you can vinyasa. Up to you. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. And then exhale back. And downward facing dog, take 5 breaths. 1, so soften around the base of your neck. 2, draw your shoulder blades up your back. 3, can you press your shin bones back here? 4. And 5. Okay, inhaling to look forward, step, hop, float, walk forward. And then once you're there, come into that forward bend that we were doing at the beginning. So the feet are at least hip width, abdomen and ribs to the thighs, and just relax the head and neck there completely. You might again want to gently nod the head, yes, shake it, no. And then we'll start to pedal into the legs again. So maybe you bend deeper into the right knee, start to straighten the left leg a bit more, and then the left knee, and then just pedal. Hopefully that's feeling a little bit easier now. Pedal out the legs. Remember, just pay attention to the sensation though. So if it's really intense for you, the forward bends, just work on that gently. Okay, and then we'll come back to center. We're going to Take the feet wider, turn the toes out and find Vinyasa squat again. So come down, use a block if you need to. Elbows to the inside of the knees, lift the chest. Keep that engagement. So that idea of drawing the heels towards each other, you start to feel that little bit of buoyancy. And then from there, squeeze the outer hips in and build the spine even more, lift the chest. Okay, you could bring the arms up if you want to as well, up to you. Shoulders down the back, fingertips up to the ceiling. Squeeze those heels together towards each other more. Get even more buoyancy if you can. Okay, from here we're going to press into the feet and come all the way up. Well done. And then release the arms down, shake the legs out, do whatever. Okay, I'm going to go through that little sequence again. I'm not going to hang out quite as long. We'll move through it a little bit more quickly with the breath. So inhale, take the arms out, around and up and gaze up. And then as you exhale, hinge forward. Remember, skip the vinyasas if you need to. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale to step or jump back. You can go straight to downward facing dog, or you can come through your vinyasa. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up. Exhale to step it forward. And then inhale, wobble your way up for crescent lunge. And then sink into it. Draw the outer right hip back, be heavy in the tailbone, knit the lower ribs in as well. Shoulder blades down your back. Okay, on the inhale, straightening into the front leg, finding horse pose to the left. So adjusting the feet, taking your time, make sure the knees are doing the right thing. Make sure that you're squeezing the outer hips in there as well. Maybe the arms come out, maybe you turn the palms up and come deeper into your horse pose. Okay, on the next inhale, we'll find crescent, back of the mat. So adjusting, wobble, wobble. Making it a nice deep crescent as well. Thinking about all of those things, not flaring the abdomen forward, ribs in. Outer left hip draws back. Shoulder blades down the back. Come deeper. And then inhaling crescent, exhaling warrior two to the right. So again, adjust. Maybe you come wider. Make sure the front knee opens out, shoulder blades are moving down and pressing in to the upper back. Okay, reversing this, flip the left palm up. Inhale, reach forward to find length, and then up and back, reverse your warrior. Inhaling to come back up, finding half move, hopping or dragging the back foot in, and then lifting the leg, right arm. Lift as well, turn your chest. Don't hang into your hamstring attachment, left leg, lift up out of that left hip. Engage your way through that right heel as well. Okay, with control in slow motion, finding warrior two. Front knee bends, lift the lower arm, slow motion, doof, crash land, back to warrior two. And then inhaling in warrior two as we exhale, hands come down, making our way to downward facing dog however we want to. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale back, downward facing dog, take 5 breaths. 1, calm your breath straight away. 2, can you move the front of the leg more to the back of the leg? 3, 4, and 5. Okay, inhale, left leg up, exhale, step it forward. And then straight away, run crescent lunge. Wobble, wobble, outer left hip back. Try and get that engagement with the hamstring as always. Don't let the ribs flare forward. Think about being compact. Draw everything in to the midline and then lift up. Okay, inhale, straightening into the front leg. Horse pose to the right. So use the hands to guide the knees out over the toes. You can leave the hands on the thighs or reach them out, turn the palms up. Press the shoulder blades into the upper back. Lengthen up through the crown of the head a bit more if you can. Okay, inhaling for crescent, front of the mat. Wobble, wobble. Adjusting, take your time to get there, doesn't matter. Feel comfortable, let the wobbles happen. Shoulder blades down the back. And then inhale here, exhale, warrior two to the left. And again, adjust the feet, check, always check that the feet are doing the right thing. Press the shoulder blades into the upper back, heavy in the tailbone. Reversing or warrior, flip the right palm up, inhale, reach forward to find length, and then up and back. Take the bind or let the hand come down the left leg. Just don't lean into it if you do that. Keep lifting the inner left thigh, front knee is still opening out as well. Don't let your abdomen flare forward in your reverse warrior. Make it a side bend. Okay, from here straight to half moon, so right hand comes down, hop the back foot in, and then left leg lifts. Maybe you stay in the wrap or you take the left arm up as well. So remember to lift up out of that right hip. Don't sag into your hamstring attachment. I know I say that a lot, but it's important. Lift up, find that engagement, turn your chest. Maybe you can get lighter onto the right fingertips. Okay, from here, with control in slow motion, softening into the front knee, lower arm lifts. Doof, come back to warrior two. That's not too bad for me this morning, actually. Can be messy, that. Okay, inhale, and then exhale, take the hands down. Step back, go to downward facing dog, however you want to get there. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. And then exhale back. Downward facing dog, take 5 breaths. You want to calm your breath straight away. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, inhale to look forward, step, hop, float. Or inhale, lengthen the chest forward when you get there, and then exhale to forward bend. Inhaling to come up, pressing down through the feet, keeping the arms coming, out around and up, reach up and gaze up. And then exhale to release the arms down. Okay, I bet none of us are feeling cold. I'm not now. Okay, let's just come into a standing balance in not too difficult a way to begin with. Okay, so if we have just come to Tadasana, mountain pose, and try to just really tune into your feet. And you can do that sort of little swaying and moving around. Maybe you sway a bit from side to side, or bring the weight back and forward, just so that you really get that sensitivity in your feet. The more that we do that, the more you develop that mind-body connection. And we're so really aware of what we're doing with our weight and what's happening, even in our little toes. Okay, then we'll take the weight into the left foot and float the right leg up. And you can go for the knee or the shin version if you want to. You can come straight to first 2 fingers around the big toe, left hand might come to the waist, and you might start to straighten into that leg. So whichever option you're going for, try to keep the outer right hip dropping down. So we want to stay as level in the pelvis as we can. That compactness in the outer hips as well, squeeze them in. And then maybe you can, if you're straightening that right leg, you start to think about drawing the right shoulder back. Left hand is on the hip, left elbow is drawing back. So you're nice and open across the chest. You're still lifting up out of that left hip as well, so you're not hanging into it. Okay, inhale, and then as you exhale, take the knee or the leg out to the side. Again, keep that outer right hip dropping down, outer left hip squeezes in. Maybe you gaze over the opposite shoulder. So we don't really want to collapse over to the left. Keep that engagement, wobble, wobble. And then inhale to bring the leg back forward. We'll bring the hands to the waist and we'll hold the leg out, wobble, wobble, well done. And then we're going to draw circles with the foot. 1, that's quite hard, I've lost my balance. 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then release. Okay, well done. Shake the legs out. Come back to Tadasana, come back to that nice sensitivity in the feet, even swaying around. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time to get that connection, doesn't it? So be patient with that. Give yourself time and space. Don't be in a rush with the balances. It's hard enough, isn't it? Okay, take the weight into the right foot, and then you could float the leg up and just take the knee or the shin. Wobble, wobble. You could go straight to first 2 fingers around the big toe, right hand to the hip, and then you work on straightening into that leg. Outer left hip drops down. So if you're getting quite good and familiar with this, try to focus on that levelness with the pelvis. And again, you're lifting up out of that right hip. You're not sinking. You're not buckling the standing leg either. I haven't said that today, have I? Left shoulder down. Once the leg is straight, you can even start to think about pushing away through the ball of the big toe on that left foot as well. Okay, inhale, exhale, knee on the leg out to the side, wobble, wobble. Keep that outer left hip drawing down, outer right hip squeezes in. You're still lifting up out of that right hip as well. And then inhale to come back forward. We'll release, bring the hands to the waist, and then draw circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then release. Well done. Okay, shake the legs out. Do whatever you need to. Come back to the front of your mat, and then meet me in chair pose at Utkatasana. Check that you can see the toes. Make sure the knees are doing the same thing. Get the hamstrings engaged straight away. Lower ribs softening, shoulder blades down. Gazing up maybe, smiling. Inhale, Utkatasana, exhale, forward bend. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to find your way back to downward facing dog, getting there however you want. So skipping the vinyasas, using the knees, whatever. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale back, downward facing dog. We'll find warrior one. So inhale, take the right leg up, and then exhale, step it forward. Left foot turns out, root it down, and then wobble our way up for warrior one. Outer left hip shaves back. So I know I go on and on in these standing poses, but try to find as much length as you can. Draw that line, pubic bone, navel, collarbones lift and lengthen. Hamstring engagement here too, if you can. Back of the right thigh. Back of the left thigh moves back, outer left heel ground into it. If you can bring the palms together, we're wrapping the triceps forward here as well. Lower ribs softening. There's a lot to think about. Shoulder blades down the back. Okay, from here, inhale and then exhale, release the arms, interlace the hands behind you. Inhale to push the hands away and open the chest. And then exhale, come forward, humble warrior. You can lean onto that right thigh if you want to cheat, or you come on the inside of the right thigh. Up to you. If you have back issues, you might just want to cheat here. Just pay attention to how it feels. It's quite intense, this, isn't it? Notice how that outer right hip wants to kick off, kick out to the side. So squeeze it in. We're trying to maintain the same position with the pelvis that we had in warrior one. Keep lifting that inner left thigh. Relax the head and neck. Well done. Push the hands away any amount. Well done. And then strong in the legs. We're going to inhale and come all the way back up to warrior one. And then sink deeper into our warrior one. Okay, from warrior one, we'll pivot to the ball of the foot, back foot for a crescent. And then from here, inhale, exhale, hands to heart center. On the next inhale, I'm going to take the weight into the right foot, lift the left leg, and find warrior three. Well done. So think about lengthening the chest forward. Again, lift up out of that right hip, outer left hip drops down. Reach back through the left big toe. You can always release the arms to help with the balance if you want to. Just almost like a baby cobra with the upper body. Okay, from here, inhale, and then as we exhale, we soften into the front knee, reach back to our crescent lunge. Doof, well done. Inhale, crescent, exhale, hands down, step back, downward facing dog, or vinyasa. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. And then exhale back, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg up, exhale, step it forward. Find warrior one, the other side. Right foot turns out, root it down, and then come up to warrior one. Shave the outer left hip back, heavy in the tailbone. Ribs in, shoulder blades down, palms together. Try and get that hamstring engagement here too, as well as pressing the back of the right thigh back, grounding into your outer right heel. If it hurts your knees, I know I say it all the time, but you can always make it a crescent. If it doesn't feel good for you for whatever reason, then you can make it a crescent. And you can still do the humble warrior in a crescent as well, can't you? Okay, from here, inhale, exhale, release the arms, interlace behind you, other little finger on top, and then inhale, push the hands away, open the chest, exhale, come forward, humble warrior, cheat if you need to. Press the hands away, don't let the hips kick off to the left. Try and maintain the same position with the pelvis that we have in our warrior one. Lifting the inner right thigh, relax the head and neck, press the arms away, well done. See if you can just even out the breath again. Okay, and then really strong in the legs to find our way back up to warrior one, and then sinking deeper into it. Okay, from there, converting to crescent lunge. Inhale, exhale, hands to heart center. On the next inhale, take the weight into the left foot. Right leg lifts, warrior three. Don't hang into the hamstring attachment on your left leg. Lift up out of that hip. Engage. Outer right hip drops down. Reach back through the right big toe. Chest is lengthening forward. Well done. And then inhale, exhale, softening into the front leg. Reach back with the right foot, do land back in crescent. And then inhaling crescent, exhale, hands down, step back. Downward facing dog or vinyasa. Definitely feel our hips after that. I do inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. And then exhale back. Downward facing dog, take 5 breaths. 1, so just let your breath settle straight away. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, inhaling to look forward, step, hop, float, walk forward. And then once you're there, forward bend. Inhale, come up into chair pose at Utkatasana, sink the hips down, shoulder blades down the back, gaze up, inhale, and then exhale. And release, well done. Shake the legs out, do whatever. Okay, we'll come back into Uttanasana, forward bend. So feet about hip width, and then inhale, arms up above the head and gaze up. Exhale, hinging forward. So back into that Uttanasana, especially if your back is an issue, try and get that contact, abdomen and ribs and the thighs. So the knees soft if they need to be. Soften around the base of the neck, shoulder blades up the back. And then just start to bend into one knee, then the other knee again. And you can really feel the transfer of the weight from foot to foot there. Pay attention. So when we're working on our hamstring flexibility, these can be really challenging, can't they? I find this challenging. Forward bends for me are just my nemesis, really. But make sure when you're working on that you don't feel any pain at your bum. So where your sit bones are, we don't ever want to feel sensation there. And if you do, then you just need to ease off. You want to feel it in the belly of the hamstring. Really, mostly. Okay, come back to your central, and then we'll take the feet a bit wider, come back to Malasana squat. Just so you can curse me a bit more, bring the elbows to the inside of the knee. And okay, I know some of us it depends on the shape of our hip joints, I think, and also the tightness in the tendons, the Achilles, makes a difference to how this feels. So if you find it easy, don't just hang out, find some engagement. If you find it really difficult, modify it and adjust it to suit you. Get back to action, squeeze the heels towards each other, outer hips squeeze in, find length through the spine. Okay, so you can stay with this. If you need to come out of it and have a rest, you can. Otherwise, we'll do those twists. You might do the bind here as well. So release the left hand down and then inhale the right arm up. And then we'll switch. So back to center and then right hand down, inhale, left arm up. And then switch again. Inhaling, twisting, exhaling back to center. Inhaling, twisting, exhaling back to center. Okay, inhale to twist, and then this time you might stay there. If it feels appropriate for you, you rotate the left shoulder forward, wrap the arm around, and then maybe you take the bind there. But still keep that squeezing action with the hips. And then if you're in the bind, you can draw that right shoulder back. Maybe you can gaze over it. But try to not just collapse into the hips, even if you're coming into that. I know that's quite intense. Okay, and then inhale, exhale, and wind. Right hand down, left arm up. Again, stay there. All that right shoulder rotates forward and you wrap the arm around and then you bind, maybe. Don't collapse into the hips, whatever you're doing. Draw the left shoulder back. Maybe you gaze over it. Okay, and then inhaling to come back. Press the palms together, lift the chest, and then let your bum come down. Well done. Bring your legs straight out in front of you and maybe just pad the knees up and down a little bit there. How am I doing? Not bad. Okay, in fact, a couple of windscreen wiper legs might be quite nice. So just take the feet wide and then bring them from side to side, which is always surprisingly intense, isn't it? Especially when we've been doing lots of lunges. And horse. Okay, so a little bit of windscreen wiper legs is nice there as well. Okay, and then we'll come to butterfly. So just bring the soles of the feet together. Make sure that the feet aren't, well, you could make it more of a Baddha Konasana if you want to, actually. I'm going for butterfly, but for butterfly, we've got this diamond shape here, haven't we? Take hold of the feet or the ankles or the shins, and then inhale to lift the chest. And then as you exhale, just easing it forward to your degree. So remember not to just rely on using your back to come forward. Think about the chest moving forward. Stay relaxed in the shoulders. Relax the head and neck. Release your jaw. Relax your throat. Make sure you're not holding or gripping here. Use your exhales to soften into this. Okay, and then on the next inhale, we'll use the floor to push us up. Then maybe help the knees up. Maybe you want to do a little bit more windscreen wiper legs as well. And then just coming back to seated, we'll bend the right knee, bring the right foot to the outside of the left, and we'll just find a twist here. So left hand can come to the knee, maybe the elbow comes to the knee, and you take your hand behind you, and you just turn and gaze over your shoulder. So there is a bind here, isn't there? You can maybe take the left arm through beneath the knee, and maybe you can reach and take the right fingertips. I always forget to say about that bind. Right shoulder back. Maybe I avoid it for some reason. Okay, and then inhale to look forward. Exhale to release. Other side, bend the left knee, bring the foot to the outside. You can take the knee with the hand, or you can hook the elbow, left hand behind you. You might come for the bind, again, up to you. And then draw the left shoulder back, whatever it is you're doing. Remember not to lead the twist with the head as well. We always just bring the head in last, because otherwise there's that tendency to just crank it with the neck. And we don't want to do that at all, ever. Okay, and then inhaling to look forward, exhaling to release, unhook, bring the knees up and down, and then we'll come all the way down onto our back. So you could come straight down if you want to, or there's a nice little core challenge to finish if you want, up to you. Okay, so if you're going for the core challenge, heels to the top of the mat, zip the calves together, zip the thighs together, reach the arms forward, and then inhale, lift the chest, exhale, come down. I say core challenge, don't I? This is, for those of us that have been practicing a lot since March, I imagine this is now feeling quite easy, isn't it? So let's take our time. When you find the hard bit, stop, hold it, squeeze the legs together. Hover at the hard bits, and then come all the way down and bring the knees in. Give yourself a little squeeze or back massage. Maybe you want to explore that quite a lot. You can make it big movements, can't you? What do you need to do? Where do you need to just gently move into? And if it feels appropriate for you to take another twist, you can take another twist. So just doing whatever you feel that you need to do in your body now. And then when you've had enough, we will find Savasana. So just coming to lie flat, or keeping the knees bent if that's more comfortable. And then start to relax. Maybe adjust the back of your shoulders a little bit, back of your pelvis. Release your jaw. Relax your throat. Let's take your awareness right into your shoulders and then let them go completely. And then just let go of everything. Just for a few moments. Just slowly beginning to bring your awareness back. Gently moving fingers and toes. Take a nice long full inhale, having a stretch. Whatever stretch you need to take, arms up overhead, maybe interlace fingers, have a full body stretch. You could bend up your knees, bring them into your chest, give yourself a hug, take a twist, anything, any move, any stretch. And then when you're ready, just making your way to your right hand side and then finding your way back up to seated when you're ready. Well done, folks. So any seated position, cross legs or not, and then bringing the hands together in front of the heart. Just take a moment, relax your shoulders, soften your facial muscles, release your jaw. And just notice the whole of your body as sensation. Okay, taking a nice long full inhale through the nose, cleansing breath out through the mouth. Namaste, thank you. Well done. Happy Vinyasa Flow Tuesday. Hope we enjoyed that, folks. Have a lovely day. Bed now. Have a nice day. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.